The Clock of Whimsy Hollow. In the cozy little village of Willow Mist, under skies that often smelled like rain and flowers, there lived a girl named Elara. Elara wasn't just any girl. She was the kind who noticed the tiniest things, like how a raindrop clung to a spider's web, or how the old weather vane on the school roof always spun 3 times before a storm. Her eyes were always searching, always wondering. One rainy afternoon, Elara was visiting her grandmother's house, a place filled with whispering floors and endless shelves of odd treasures. As thunder rumbled gently outside, Elara tiptoed into the attic, a place she wasn't usually allowed to go alone. The attic smelled of old books and cinnamon. Light from a tiny window illuminated stacks of dusty boxes, old trunks, and a curious-looking grandfather clock tucked in the corner. It wasn't ticking. Its hands were frozen at exactly 7:07. But what truly caught Elara's eye was the tiny golden keyhole right in the middle of the clock face, and the worn-out note pinned beside it. To those who wonder, to those who seek. Turn the key and find what you seek. Elara's heart thumped with excitement. She knelt down and searched. Under a nearby rocking chair, wrapped in a faded velvet cloth, she found a small silver key. It was almost as if it had been waiting for her all along. With a deep breath, she inserted the key into the clock. Click! The clock chimed once, twice, 3 times, and suddenly, the air shimmered. The clock's face spun faster and faster, turning into a swirling vortex of color and light. Elara gasped as she was gently lifted off the ground and pulled into the clock. She floated through a tunnel of sparkling stars, soft music playing all around her. When she landed, plop! She found herself standing on a path made of bouncing, glowing stones. Above her, the sky was painted in swirls of pink, blue, and gold. Trees with candy-striped trunks and shimmering silver leaves lined the sides of the path. Floating above the trees were delicate flowers, bobbing gently like balloons. "Welcome to Whimsy Hollow," said a cheerful voice. Elara turned to see a tall rabbit wearing a scarf and reading glasses. "My name is Professor Puddlewick," he said, bowing politely. "And you, young seeker, have found the entrance to a world forgotten by time." "Seeker?" Elara repeated. "Yes, indeed. Only those who truly wonder about the impossible can find Whimsy Hollow," said Professor Puddlewick, smiling. "And you have arrived on a most special day, the Festival of Lost Things." Elara's eyes lit up. "What is that?" Professor Puddlewick leaned in close and whispered, "Once every 100 years, lost treasures from all over the world gather here, floating and sparkling, waiting for their rightful owners to find them again." He handed her a parchment map, which glowed faintly in her hands. "But beware," he added with a twinkle in his eye, "in Whimsy Hollow, the path you see is not always the path you must take." Feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness, Elara set off. First, she wandered through the bubblegum forest, where the trees whispered riddles into the wind. She solved the riddle of the singing flowers by guessing their favorite tune, a backward version of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Next, she had to cross the River of Echoes. The stepping stones hummed when touched. Only by stepping on the stones that sang the right notes could she cross safely. Elara closed her eyes, listened carefully, and danced lightly across. Everywhere she went, strange and delightful creatures helped or challenged her. A shy turtle named Timothy, who rode on roller skates, helped her carry her bag. A giggling cloud who rained jelly beans showed her a shortcut through the candy corn fields. Finally, after what felt like hours, Elara arrived at the heart of the hollow, a giant open meadow where thousands of lost items floated like tiny stars. She wandered through the floating treasures, a golden music box, a silver kite, a pair of purple ballet shoes, but none felt like hers. Just as she was about to give up, she saw it. A small, heart-shaped locket, glowing softly, floating just above a crystal fountain. It was the very locket her grandmother had given her when she was 4 years old, the one she thought she had lost forever. Tears welled up in Elara's eyes. She reached out and touched it. The moment her fingers closed around the locket, the entire meadow lit up in a dazzling shower of light. The lost things began drifting gently back to their owners, wherever they were in the world. Professor Puddlewick reappeared beside her. "Congratulations, Seeker," he said warmly. "You found not just a lost thing, but a lost piece of yourself." Before Elara could ask what he meant, the clock chimed once again. The world around her spun gently, and with a soft whoosh, she found herself back in her grandmother's attic. The clock was silent once more, but the locket was warm in her hand. Elara smiled, knowing that Whimsy Hollow was real, and that one day, when she was ready for her next adventure, it would be waiting for her.